in YouTube.
Oh, great idea.
Hi, everybody. My name is Benny. Welcome to the Fool's Apprentice. I'm here with Kelsey from Huggy Tarot. Good morning.
Morning.
So what I'm going to do is
Oh,
I'm going
Benny's
to go to
frozen.
YouTube real quick. I'm going to make sure that we're on
Uh-oh.
live.
He's still
So
frozen.
give me 1 second.
Hi,
Because I've never
Lisa.
done this before, guys. So I'm a little nervous that I'm going to mess this up. All right, let me switch accounts to my other account and see if I
How is
am.
everybody today? I know Lisa's here. Is anybody else here? Give us a hello if anybody else is here. I think I think Lisa. I'm sure more people will join us.
Tell me if you can see me. Just give me a little message as yes, we see you.
And let's see here. I'm gonna take actually. Lisa can see you. She said yes.
Okay. Why can't okay, there it is. Now I got to try to figure out. Okay, here we go. I'm going to include a link to oh, that's not the right one. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to give me 1 second. I'm going to include a link in the chat so that way if you're having a hard time getting on, you can click on this link. Oh, that's even if you're in the chat, right? But maybe you can see it and type it in. But I also included the link in the description in the announcement for the live today. So you can go to my announcement, go to the description, copy paste, and you should be able to get in. So, okay, I see 4 participants in all. So I wonder who the other one is.
I'm gonna take a picture and just like post it real quick on my story. So Benny, smile. Cute. Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
post that and just so people know that we're live.
Okay, so
You want to kick things off?
yeah, so well, I'm really super excited about this. So today it's just going to be very laid back. We're going to talk about why it is that we decided to do this series with the Erenberg, why we chose Erenberg, how we each are going to study the decks, what the schedule is going to look like, as well as we're going to be doing a giveaway today. We're going to be giving out a copy of the Erenberg deck. So what's going to happen is, and I'll announce this again, I am going to ask a question near the end regarding something that we discussed today. And the first person that, huh?
I just checked and it doesn't look like we're live on YouTube. Was there a button that said like go live on your end?
Let me see. Give me 1
Because
second.
it says right now that it's recording, but I think we need to be live, and I don't think I have that on my end.
Okay, let me look.
Yeah, of
Of
course.
course. Of course, this would happen.
No, I mean it's our first time, right? Like it's all good. People are nice. They understand.
I hope so. Let's see. Okay, so let me see. My channel. Go to YouTube Studio. Go to Content. Live. Okay. So, darn it.
I think probably did you link your Riverside FM account to your YouTube
Yes,
channel? Okay,
I
so it
do.
should have automatically done it.
Right.
Hmm.
Because I copied the channel onto Riverside.
Hmm.
Well, Riverside had me do 1 second. Riverside had me. Where is it called? I'm trying to get
Please
Elizabeth.
hold for our amazing viewers as we troubleshoot. I always just use something else, StreamYard. So live
I know.
stream to YouTube.
Okay.
Verify your channel.
Okay. Uh,
Okay,
okay, I wrote on the channel troubleshooting.
perfect.
Now,
I think there are
why?
some people waiting on YouTube. Thank you,
Yeah, I
Alice.
see them. I see them. I see cozy. Oh, you know what? I can do the link there. Please use this link to get on the live audience chat.
And I'll
Let's
post
see.
this on my story too. Please use the link below to access our live. Sorry, I'm
But
putting it on
I don't know
Instagram.
why it's not doing that. Sorry, everybody.
Thank you for
This is
being
the first time doing the
patient.
live, so it's a learning experience for me.
Okay, so there's this. And then I'm going to put the link here.
Yeah, because on here I have that it's a streaming software. And
And
I should be live.
oh, hold on. Okay, we've got people joining. I'm just trying to copy the link over here. Hi, Tara.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna type in the chat. Hi, Tara. Like I can't talk to you.
I read your mind.
Oh my
Right
God.
mind.
Okay.
Slash.
All right. Thanks, Alice. Did you end up getting on through, how did you get on, Alice? Did you use the link in my tarot channel or Kelsey's announcement?
I haven't posted it yet. I'm doing that right now.
Oh, I think there's something I saw tarot. I remember it's Dream Tarot. Yeah, I'll be posting it from time to time. Um, so
And
again, Alice, how
okay,
did you get on if you didn't have that link? I'm just curious. You saw it in the description. Perfect. Thank you. All right.
okay, perfect. And I just posted
Okay.
it, so hopefully that'll help. And then you posted it in the chat. It'll be fine. We
Yeah,
got this.
I'll go back and forth. We'll figure it out. I'll have to work on this because um I'm brand new to all this guy. This is the thing about being a new YouTuber. It's trying to figure stuff out. And I followed everything. I even talked to Riverside just to make sure I did it right, and it sounded like I did everything right. So what will happen is I'll go back to Riverside, say, "Hey, this didn't work," and they'll help me. Um, Generally, a lot of people use StreamYard. I think Kelsey used StreamYard, Tar uses
Mhm.
StreamYard, Lisa Papez, I think Dawn. However, Riverside, I like them, and they're half the price, so that's why I decided to go with
Yeah.
them.
Tara just said we could jump on StreamYard. Um, but I think that we would have to do it. Do you have StreamYard linked to your YouTube? So we could do it
No.
through mine, but then the links would all change, I think, if we did that. So I think I have it pulled up. I have the YouTube pulled up. So Benny, if you want to kind of monitor the chat here on Riverside, I
Okay.
will monitor the chat over on YouTube.
Yep, but YouTube won't have the video.
No, but just in case like more people show up,
Oh,
I
God.
can questions. I can just post
But
there.
they won't be able to see us. Isn't that correct?
Right, but I would just be able to tell them to use the link
Oh,
that you posted so they could come over here.
got it.
Yeah, that was my thought. But I don't know. It says that there are still 4 people waiting, 6 people waiting, and I don't maybe they're not looking at the chat.
Waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh my God. Waiting where?
It just says 6 waiting where it says scheduled for March 17th, 2024.
On Riverside?
No, on YouTube.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
I don't see anything that says waiting at all anywhere.
Oh, Tara said she's still on there, so it's probably counting some of us that are in here. I would say let's like maybe just get started and then people can join, and if we need to, we can always just post the recording later.
Well, yeah, I'm going to post a recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It is totally fine. Could it be
All right.
clearer to those? Okay, I'll put that. Alice, I'm going to copy and paste what you just said. I love this team effort we have going on right now.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a
We,
community, isn't it?
it is. I mean, and isn't that what makes this all worth it?
Yeah.
Smiley face. Boom. Just posted.
Yeah, and then do you want me to let me see. Let me see if I see your post.
Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you. You guys are like helping us troubleshoot here. I can't help because I've never used Riverside. And also, Benny's the host, so I can't see the same
Okay.
things that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm in my 50s, people. Let's just go with that.
You're doing amazing.
Oh, I think I see us. It says I'm live.
Where? On YouTube?
Yeah.
Let me reload. Oh,
It
yeah.
looks like,
Okay, no, it's working. It's working now.
but I think there's a delay. Like a long delay.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's on there. Oh my God.
We're good. We got. I don't, did you click something or did it just magically happen?
It just said go live, so I hit go live.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Use the link above. All right. That's what I said to get everybody on
Woo!
stream.
Okay. Good job, Benny.
Okay. So let us all start over. How long? We're 12 minutes in. Okay.
Hey, it's all
We'll see
good.
how things go.
We got this. It's all
Okay.
smooth sailing.
All right. So we've decided to do a deck study today. And so this deck study is going to go for like 2.5, 3 months because of
Mhm.
the way that we have it structured. But I thought a deck study would be fun for a couple of reasons. For me, it was one, I have been complaining and boohooing about not knowing all the cards yet, and then really struggling to get myself motivated to sit and study and do a deep dive. I've attempted several times, and for some reason, I just find it challenging. And I thought this would give me some accountability in doing it because I don't want to look like a fool on camera, for one. Two is somebody else would be relying on me. And three, I like doing videos. And so it gets me excited knowing that I have a video coming up. So it gives me something to look forward to. That's like my payout in doing my study. And then I also wanted to do a deck study with somebody else because I just find it really, I just like talking to somebody about something that I like. And then when we interviewed together, we just, it was so easy and we laughed a lot. And I thought I thought you'd be perfect to do this with for me.
Oh, yeah, I love doing deck studies because so things about me, I I consider myself sort of a perpetual learner, right? Like I don't and I like that. That's something that I enjoy is the learning piece. And so there's always more to learn about anything, but
Yeah.
especially the tarot. And I think for me, one of the things I do love about having and using so many different decks is that each one can offer a really unique perspective on the different cards and the different archetypes and the different energies. And so
Mhm.
I love doing deck studies because sometimes it forces me to see new layers and make new connections with cards. And so, I've been doing a deck study with Trina Webb over on Instagram for Mio Im's Tarot. And then Benny and I kind of started talking about doing a deck study together.
Mhm.
And,
About the
you know,
BUNs.
about neo-ins is actually initially what we were talking
Yep.
about. And I think that is something that we definitely want to look at, maybe down the road. But we ended up landing on the Erenburg as kind of our first study together, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about why we picked that one here in a couple minutes. But
Well,
I
actually,
just love Benny. I love Benny so much, and I was so excited to be able to have an excuse to hang out with him. So he's kind of stuck with me for a while.
well, we were just talking before, and I was telling her, "I've thought about you doing this whole week, but I thought that was very stalker-like." And I'm reaching out to her, and I'm like, "You need to slow down. You're gonna freak her out."
No, believe me, I teach kids that it takes a lot to freak me out, like a
So
lot.
we had actually decided to study neo-Ms, and then I think I boohooed a little bit. Well, I boohooed a lot because I wasn't really happy with the cardstock
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
horrible box.
Oh,
And
don't
then
start on that box. That
yeah, yeah. And then we were talking about it, and I said, "Do you think that'd be too hard for like a deck study? Also, it's an expensive deck, so a lot of people wouldn't be able to get it." And then all of a sudden, we just started talking. I think you had just gotten the Erenberg or something.
no,
How did that come about?
I can't even remember how
It
it
was a
came up.
really quick decision. Let's study the Erenberg. Okay, let's do it. And I
Yeah.
ordered mine the next day. Oh, and I made a mess of that too. Um,
But
or
actually, our our mistake is going to be your gain at some
yes,
point
yes,
in this
yeah.
video. You know what, too? I think when we were talking about doing this deck study, as we sort of dialed in on what we wanted it to be, um, I think something that was really important to both you and I, and we've talked about this multiple times, is I know you want your channel to be something that's really driven by community and connection,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
do too. There's a reason why, I have been collaborating with so many amazing people. Tara, I love you. And Trina and Benny. Like, for me, that was a huge part of why I started this, was because community is something that's really important to me. And so as we were trying to settle on a deck, we wanted to pick something that was maybe more accessible so that people could join
Yes.
in, right? So that you could pick it up, if you decide to, you could pick it up for an affordable price, and you could actually join in with us, and share your thoughts in the chat as we do these videos together, because that's, for me, the fun of it, is hearing the different ideas and the different perspectives, and feeling like I'm part of something.
Yeah. After we talked, we did talk. We needed something affordable because then how many people would be able to join us and enjoy that whole process? And the Ehrenberg, and another reason we picked the Ehrenberg, it just came out.
Yeah.
And it's so different from any of the other decks that we're accustomed to seeing due to it being so cropped in. And so we thought that was really fascinating. And actually, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Instagram and Facebook. So it was like, oh, this is an easy choice because people already have it, so they can start immediately with us.
Yeah, and Biddy and I, very briefly kind of talked about this. Was it last weekend when we hung out for a little while?
Hmm.
Or the weekend before last? I think it was last weekend, right? Benny and I, like, we talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I
Well, you
was
were really sick for a while, so we couldn't talk. Oh, you poor thing. It was pretty bad.
4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. And I'm finally, my voice is still, you can hear it's still a little iffy, but I'm not, you know, it's not what it was, which is great. Love that for me. Um, but the other thing about this deck is I'm not sure about it. Like, I think if we weren't doing this study, I don't know if it's one that I necessarily would have, like, picked up, just because I like, I don't know about it. But I also think there's value in studying a deck that you're like, I don't know about this, right? Because you can still get some insights by doing that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so we're going to talk about the Fool today. And Benny and I have very different opinions on this card.
Yes, we do. I will
Um,
say that too was like when I kind of went through the deck. I haven't gone through the whole deck. I was going through the deck, I have it right here. And I was like, I don't know if I like this one. And I was like, and then I was thinking, I'm going to call Kelsey and let me see, maybe we could do another one. Oh, and then she's going to hate me because this will be the third one. And I had this huge conversation. And then she's like, no, this would be really, really good. And then I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't have to like it to learn from it. In fact, I think I'm going to learn a lot from it. There are some cards here that I really, really like. There's some cards I
Yeah,
just like very strongly. There's some that resonate really, really well. So um,
yeah.
I'm not really happy with the card stock, but a lot of people seem to be happy with the card stock. What about you?
I mean, it's kind of cardboardy for me. Like it's not. If anybody has the millennial tarot, it's not like that. That cardstock, as everybody knows, is like a nightmare. But it's like
It is sturdy. It's gonna,
it is
yeah,
sturdy, and like,
it'll
but
hold its
if I
shape.
do this enough, it kind of starts to bow a little bit. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's not super glossy. I
I
think it's like a
don't hate
medium
it.
gloss. I don't hate it.
You know what
I
it
just
feels
wouldn't
like
say that
to me? It feels very teenager.
the cardstock or the art.
The art, it feels like if I were 16, oh my God, I want to use this deck. I'm not
Yeah,
16,
but
54.
yeah, and it would be like a very particular teenage personality that would use this deck, you know? But
Um,
yeah, I can see that.
it feels very youthful. I think that's one thing for me that kind of throws me off. I have useful decks like the Rainbow Tarot, but it feels very adult like at the same time, like a young adult. So,
Yeah, there's like a difference too between like nostalgic, kind of nostalgic youthful, and then childlike youthful, I guess. I don't know, does that make sense?
yes.
Um and I don't I again I don't know about this deck. I actually very deliberately have not flipped through all the cards. I kind of want to discover it as we go a little bit. But believe me when I tell you, I have contemplated this fool and I have thoughts, just like Benny does.
So let's talk about the structure and how we're going to end up doing this because we're going to we're going to do some lives and some of them are going to be recordings that are going to happen on Sundays.
Hmm.
So we're going to meet on Sundays, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there
we
might be a
haven't decided
couple,
on
like
posting.
I have other things already scheduled where we might need to move it to like a Saturday, but I would say those are going to be the pre-recorded ones. So,
So I'm thinking, should we post it on a Tuesdays every Tuesday?
yeah,
That way we can record Saturday, Sunday, and then post it on the Tuesday.
that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, we will be posting on Tuesdays every week, unless one of us gets sick, something in
Mhm.
life happens, and we have to postpone. But we will do an announcement letting everybody know that it's going to be postponed a week.
Yeah.
Um, and I post it pretty much every week, so I'll figure it out, or we'll figure it out. Another thing that we're going to do is like this week we're on my channel. Next week we'll be on Kelsey's channel, and then we'll be going back and forth. So that way, the people that because I don't think everybody follows both of us. So if, eventually they will, and they'll get and then I'll talk to Lisa Papez about how do we put it in, unless you know how to put it in community where everybody can go and see it
That's a
one
thing you
right
can
after
do?
another. I think so because that's what.
Oh, you mean like create a playlist. Is that what you
Yes,
mean?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can show you how to do that, but
Okay.
it's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Okay. And then so correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to be studying the Fool today. Then next week we're going to do 1 through 10. The following week 11 through 21. Those are going to be recorded, and then we're going to do a live for all the major arcana in the third week. So people can ask questions, people can give their own insights on certain cards that we're discussing on the major arcana. Then we'll go into the suits, and it'll be the same thing, ace through five, or are we going to do
I think 8
ace
through
through 10?
5 probably makes sense.
Ace through
Yeah.
five, 6 through 10, the court cards, and then a live.
Yep. Yep.
And so it gives enough time to actually really do a good study in a week, 5 cards.
Yeah. And that way we can really sit with those cards and give some depth. I think that if we did 10 cards at once, these videos would be, you know,
Super
hours
long.
long. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Uh,
you have a lot to say.
yeah. Yeah. Especially about this card.
Oh my God. Stop. So how are you going to end up studying the deck? Like, what are you going to use?
So, I have a couple different like tools that I tend to use if I need to. And they're
Oh,
sort of just like general guidebooks for just tarot. So like one of them obviously I am going to obviously read what's in the little white book just to
yeah.
get a sense of, thoughts. I love here, let me grab it. I have my little wheelie cart here. I love the this is one of my favorites to go to. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
love this one. I have
I don't know what happened to mine.
what happened? Or you lost it?
I don't
Did
know. I wonder if I wonder if maybe I have it on my bookshelf. I have a bookshelf. A little
oh, so might be there.
it
I
might
have
be.
this one, Modern Tarot.
Oh, I
Um,
was thinking about getting that book. I think I have it.
and then another one that I've actually really been enjoying. I just got it, so I'm still kind of working through it. Is the Inner Tarot.
Yes, you were telling me about it. It's on my list to buy.
Yeah. So these are kind of the three that I tend lately have been using as like a go to if I want some sort of a reference.
Okay.
Um, but this one, especially, this one and
Why that one?
these two are probably my go tos right now.
Why the inner tarot?
So part of it is I like the approach to it. So my reading style and I tends to be um my reading style tends to be more rooted in kind of like self exploration. I don't really read for other people. And I like to do like a very internalized reading. Like I like to dig deep. And for me, it's a tool to not only manage like my mental health and wellness, but it's also a way for me to really kind of dig deep and figure out, why am I the way I am? Why do I think the way I do? And that is very much consistent with sort of the approach of this book to tarot. This one I like because it's hilarious. It's very like
Yes.
it's so funny.
She's very frank, just
Yeah.
very, she's
And
okay
this
with,
one just makes me laugh. So this one is for when I'm like I'm in a mood where I'm like, yeah, I can't handle anything super deep right now. I need something that's gonna make me laugh. This
I
one
have,
is when I'm ready for something, deeper.
the WTF is tarot. I read that when I first started getting into tarot, and I
Yeah.
did like quite a bit. The
Yeah.
other one I haven't read. What I'm using right now is Kitchen Tarot.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Is that a good book?
Yes, I really like it. I really do like it. And then, of course, now I've gone back to Rachel Pollack's, but
Oh, that is a tome. That is like a
actually,
that there's a lot in there.
when I first started reading, I was very overwhelmed. I'm like, no, it's going on this. I had this book for a year. I haven't even gone all through it. I've gotten maybe this far. But now I'm going to be going through it because now it makes a lot more sense. Very simple book that I really, really like is this one. You can get it for
Tarot.
like $10.
Yeah.
Um, it's a really easy, digestible book that gives you a lot of information in a very like this is it. This is all that I get. But like there's a lot of information in here. And it gives you reversals as well. And for fun, let me get it real quick. Let me show you.
But while Benny's looking for that, Alice asked, "Do y'all prefer to be on Riverside or YouTube? Is there a difference?" Um, I've never actually live streamed through YouTube. I use StreamYard, and I really like that because it's just easier for me to kind of manage if I'm collaborating with somebody. And it also has some like cool tools, like a countdown at the beginning of lives and things like that.
Okay.
So I tend to prefer using like a sec like a third party to manage my lives. Benny, do you prefer Riverside or like have you done YouTube lives like through YouTube before?
I've never done a YouTube live because the reason is I don't know if I can record a YouTube live.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can use it record a YouTube live. Let me turn my phone off.
Yeah.
So I tried StreamYard. I tried EMVR or something like that,
Yeah.
and then Riverside. Frankly, they all generally work pretty much the same. So I picked Riverside because it's half the price of the other ones. Um, and I like it's easy to use. It's just I'm new to it, so I'm learning how
Yeah.
to use it.
Yeah.
And I also like that I get on the if I need support, I get on the chat. Within like 2 minutes, I have somebody answering my questions.
That is really nice.
Yeah. So I pay the monthly fee for right now just to see if I can get really used to it. But I know a lot of other people really like StreamYard, but it's double the price.
It is. It is more expensive. I like StreamYard just because I feel like the interface is really usable, but I also like haven't really played with Riverside or anything like that.
I
So
suggest try it.
I might try it
Can
at
you
some
see me?
point.
Can you
Yeah.
see me?
No, I see Imaging Edge webcam.
What happened here? Of course.
It's always during lives.
I have never had this happen before. This is crazy.
Did it maybe get unplugged?
No, it did not get unplugged. Okay, I'm gonna jump out. If I jump out, does that completely close us off?
I think it will end the recording.
It will end the
So yeah. Um, let's see. If you go down to where the camera is,
Oh, yeah.
there's like
Let me
maybe
see.
no, now I just see a bee.
Hold on. I will figure this out. All right, let's see. Where's my settings?
There's a gear up in the corner.
I cannot believe this happened to me. I am so sorry, guys.
It is all good.
I am not a professional.
You know more about like video setup and stuff like that than I do. I just sort of bought a webcam, like because my Mac has like an older camera, so I got a webcam. But that's the extent of what I've really done. Oh, and I have my big fancy Yeti microphone um, that I use.
I don't think it's gonna let me switch to my computer camera.
Alice, you're so sweet. Alice said, "It's fine. We'll be here regardless. Take
Y'all
your
are
time."
well, you know what? As long as the pretty face is on camera, that's all that matters, right?
Okay, you flatterer.
All right. I will mess with this and try to figure it out as we talk,
Yeah.
because otherwise we will. I am just like blown away that this is what's happening.
Oh, it's fine. Like, and I have my cards here too, so like I can show the card as we discuss it if need
Okay.
be. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, my star power has been dimmed.
Your star power has not been dimmed. You're still amazing.
Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, books. Oh, and I was gonna show you my book. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. This. Well, the book that I was gonna show, it's the one that Lisa Papez is doing for her book study. It's Tarot for Change. And
Oh, is that one good? I haven't, I'm not doing the book study. But
I'm
is it good?
liking it so far. Yes, so Jessica Dorr ended up writing this book, and she's a social worker
Mhm.
who studied, mental health, and she incorporates a lot of mental health interventions like cognitive behavioral therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy into how to use the cards, which I
Yeah,
think is amazing.
yeah.
Uh,
I feel like
okay.
I need to pick that one up because that also sounds really consistent with how I read.
I think it's so far I'm really, really liking this.
Yeah. A little, I might pick that up next once I'm done with the inner tarot. But yeah, so Benny, while you're working on that, let's see here. I know the next thing on our list, we talked about why we picked the Erenberg.
Yeah.
So how are you studying the deck before we meet? Are
Oh,
you like
I was gonna show you
journaling?
my I was gonna show you my journal I was very proud of. So I am using 78 Degrees of Wisdom. I'm using the Erenberg guidebook. I'm using the guidebook for the Rider-Waite-Smith clone that I'm using, which is the Neo Rider Tarot Collection guidebook. I'm also using the kitchen tarot table, and uh, I'm also trying to do some numerology and element work, uh, which is really outside of what we're going to be doing. And then from there, I'm doing a journal, and I'll be posting. I'll probably do a little video on my journal on the channel and do that.
You
But
should.
yeah, I mean that's really how I'm doing it. And then I actually do look at other cards as well, just for me that will go in my journal. But that's generally how I'm studying it. And um, interesting is that some of these cards are popping up in my daily polls, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing anything special, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I think I didn't like journal the way that you did about the fool. I kind of just sat with it and studied it and looked at it. Um Partially because I wanted my my thoughts to be kind of off the cuff for this deck
Oh,
study.
that's kind of cool.
And just see kind of what and I actually haven't flipped through the deck. I'm just gonna kind of do it as we go because I'm curious to see like what does it say to me in the moment, what stands
Okay.
out. The one that I did look at obviously is the Fool because I know we looked through a few of them last weekend, and that was one of them, but most of them I have not actually really looked at super closely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go over the full card?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, what are your impressions of the full card? I
You already know the answer to that.
do know the answer, but everybody else doesn't.
No. I don't like this Fool. Like, okay, so I'm gonna anybody who's watching this, if you watched the deck roasts that I did with Tara, like I'm basically gonna roast this card. So enjoy. Um Benny and I have a very different opinion of this fool's eyes. And the guidebook talks about how like the eyes are like filled with clarity, right? They're very clear. Um for me, these are the eyes of a serial killer. Like these are the eyes you see right before the lights go out. And I don't know, there's something about this card that I find this fool that I find deeply unsettling. Now, Benny, I know when we talked, you did have some thoughts on this that actually did make me appreciate it, even if I don't like it. Like, it made me appreciate this depiction, even if I still don't think this is my favorite fool ever. Um, so I'll let you share those thoughts. But for me, this card, I still just can't quite get to the point where like I like this fool. Um, and I know you and I differ on this a little bit. He feels young to me. which I know is kind of consistent with that like naive, well, not always naive, but that sort of like that exuberant sort of youthful feeling that the fool can have. I mean, like the traditional depiction, bro's about to like walk off the edge of a cliff because he's kind of, walking along and doing his own thing and not really paying attention to what's in front of him.
Yeah.
Um, and this one is like he does feel focused, right? Like this guy is looking right at you, unlike this guy who's like staring off into the sky. So there is a difference there. I don't know, Benny, what do you think about this fool?
I love this fool. Oh my God. I wish you could see how excited I am about this fool. I
I
really,
can hear it in your voice. I
I
can hear it.
really, really like this fool. I think so. I'm going to use some language, people. I think this fool says, don't fuck with me. I have a lot more power than you think I have. His eyes like are so clear and so precise. Like you can tell that this guy knows what he has to offer, what he's capable of doing, and is very, very confident. I think this type of fool, like if he were in the real world back, when we actually had them in the courts, he'd be the one that the king really would listen to. This is the kind of guy that people this face is the one that you would see in front of you if you were cornered in a room by yourself with the fool. This is not the fool that you would see if you were in a room with a whole bunch of other people. Um, I think this is a very confident fool. Uh, he feels he feels a little sinister to me. If you look at it, his eyes and his eyebrows just he brings in a he I think is probably one of the darker fools that I've seen for me.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, so this is very much sort of like a medieval jester, right? Like court
Yeah.
jester moment. And, one of the things that, because I'm a history nerd, one of the things, that was always very interesting about the court jesters and the court fool was, one of their roles was to be able to speak truth to power in a way that not everybody could. And I think that makes this interesting. That makes
Mhm.
this depiction interesting. Um, and I agree with you. Like he is very direct. There's like a
Very
bluntness to
very
this fool.
measured. And so when I've
But
seen go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, but again, I can't get past like I agree with you about his expression. Like he knows what he wants. I'm just afraid that what he wants is, like I said, to make the lights go out, right? So that's why he just creeps me out a little bit. Like I don't know. I can't get past the creepy eyes, even though, again, I do think that a depiction of the fool as a jester is an interesting one because it is linked to that issue of power, which I always find
Yes.
really,
This is the
interesting.
kind of guy that feigns powerlessness, but really holds a lot more power than even probably the king realizes. This
Yeah.
is how I see him. And so, in fact, I wrote on my journal, the fool is wise and cunning. He's not to be fucked with. He can bring great joy to your life or create pain and suffering. The fool's eyes tell you to take the time to look at your choices clearly before deciding to take the leap or not. And that was the thing with this fool is when he comes up for me, it's all of a sudden whatever question comes up becomes a very serious question.
Mhm.
This
I can see
this
that.
yeah, this particular fool is kind of letting me know that compared to the Rider Waite Smith fool, it's not like I'm jumping for joy and I'm going to take this leap of faith and what happens happens. This particular fool was more like, okay, you got a choice to make, and it's going to have some ramifications either way. It could be good or it could be bad. So just think about it before you decide to take your leap of faith.
And listening to you say that, there is I think an interpretation of this version of the card that could very much be like, he's daring you to take that leap, right?
Oh, I
Like
love that. Yes, daring you.
he's
I'm gonna
like,
have to write
do
that
it,
down.
right? Like do it. And so there's a challenge in this card, maybe, right? To take that leap. And he is looking at you. So there's no way that you could see this card and, sort of like diffuse that responsibility off onto someone else. Like, for all we know, he could be looking, I don't know, at someone else here, right? This
Yep.
fool is looking right at you. And I think, yeah, I think that there's a dare in that. There's a challenge in that to like do. I know, Benny, one of the things you've talked about is when you see this card, you one of the things that you really associate with this is courage. And I love that
Yes.
association
Courage
for the
and
fool.
bravery. Yes. I
I feel
think,
like I is daring you to do the brave thing.
yeah. And so, yes, bravery was the Terra Volatile was that fool made me think of brave and courage, especially bravery, because in that particular card, he's going into a world that has yet to be discovered by anybody. And so that was like, whoa, this person's like really taking a brave step. But I like the interpretation that you gave that this guy's daring you to take the brave step. That is actually a wonderful interpretation of this particular card. Does
I mean, I
anything
also
else?
came up with that listening to you, so it was very much a team effort.
Yeah. So that's going to go in my journal. Anything
Yay!
else in this card that stands out to you other than the eyes?
Well, you talked about the bell, right? Like,
I
or you
did.
mentioned
Yes.
something. What do you make of the bell?
Well, bells are used as a way for a signal to bring
Mhm,
your attention to, like a bell around a cat's neck, or when somebody opens a door and you're in a store, it brings your attention. So here, for me, it's really bringing your attention to the present moment and listening into to your voice within, because that voice within is an internal bell telling you to either do something or not to do something. So the
mhm.
bell for me really represents that inner voice that you really need to pay attention to.
I like that. You
Yeah.
know what actually kind of stood out to me? Like, I had the same thought process. I was thinking about like cat bells, like you did, right? Like door, like the
Yep.
bells that you hang in like shops, right? It's like an alert to do something. And as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about when I was in college, and one of my best friends was and still is Buddhist. And so we would go to like the Buddhist monastery for guided meditations,
Yeah.
like a couple times a month together. And, they always had the Tibetan singing bowls. And there was that, if you strike it, right, it's like this dinging sound. It's not exactly like a bell, but it rings, right? And the whole point of that was to sort of bring your focus back to where it should be. So it was a tool to help you focus, which is very consistent with what you're saying. So I do see the connection you're making. And especially if we assume that he is, like I said, daring us to make a brave choice, perhaps this is a reminder to trust our intuition a little bit in that too.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
think I think that bell is really screaming, listen to your intuition.
mhm,
You have to pay attention. And I think also this particular card, because of the colors, they're so vibrant. For
mhm,
me, that brings up the possibility that this could be a very emotional uh, leap that you might have to take. You might
mhm,
have to jump through a lot of anxiety or fear
mhm,
uh, in doing that, because this card is very, very vibrant in its colors for me.
mhm,
It's not like a neon color, but the red is red and the green is green. Period.
mhm, mhm.
So those have those kind of indicators.
And then one of the other things that actually, I don't know about you, but one of the
Okay.
things that stood out to me about this card, this fool is outside, like
Yes.
in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
This fool looks like he's inside somewhere, maybe like standing against like there's a wall
Or tapestry. Yeah, I see that.
or a
Yeah, that makes sense.
tapestry.
I didn't even think about that.
So like this fool very much feels like, he's about to go out and explore the world. There's an external aspect to this sort of traditional depiction of the fool where it's moving outward, it's exploring outward. This guy is inside. That's my interpretation here, is that this guy seems to be inside. And so again, maybe that is consistent with this idea that this Fool is all about going within, right? He's not really moving out into the world. It seems to me like he's in sort of like a fixed place.
Yeah, and I get that feel too. I don't think I thought of it like consciously like that because remember earlier I said he's the kind of guy that he'll show you this space if you're alone with him in a room. So
Hmm.
I see him in that time where he lives in a castle
Yeah.
in a community. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see the difference
Yeah.
between the both of them.
But okay, so as we've talked about it, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I dislike this card as much as I did when we started.
Really?
Yeah,
What do you think changed your mind?
the point. Okay, so the why is something that I love whys. I love knowing the why behind everything.
Mhm.
And I think that for me, some of what confused me about this card, what I wasn't clear on what the whys were, like why the bell, why the close up shot of the eyes, why the jester, why the Argyle background. And talking through that with you clarified some of that for me. So, I don't think this is my favorite Fool ever, but I would not say that I dislike it. At this point, I would say I do see value in this Fool. Like I do. Um, More than I did when we first started.
Yeah, like when I read the guidebook, and I'll just read it real quick. It says,
Yeah.
"The fool heralds a return to childlike innocence and wonder, to the part of yourself that knows how to open to new beginnings and new adventures." Okay, that's just kind of like the definition. The fool is whimsical and playful, but not a simpleton. His eyes are clearer, revealing the purity of a beginner's mind. I don't get that sense with this particular fool. He
Mhm.
is wise, I get that, and in his openness to the universe and possibilities without preconceptions or judgment. I don't necessarily get that either with this particular fool. I think this is just a general definition that people can use. But
Yeah. And honestly, like the guidebook, I am totally open to the possibility that different people see different things in the same card, right? Like that's the value of doing a study like this with Benny.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, somebody
but
mentioned they
for
see a
me,
fear killer.
like this idea that this Fool is whimsical and playful, I don't get that. And that they chose the keywords like spontaneous, carefree, and I know that those are words that are typically associated with the Fool. I don't get spontaneous or carefree with this Fool. I just
Me
don't.
even. I get cunning. I get somebody that's critically thinking. This is a guy who in a crowd will play the part of the fool, but in private or alone, this guy can be very menacing and is asking you to be very careful, around me, which goes to when it shows up in a reading. Okay, I have to actually take this question a lot more serious than I initially intended to.
And as you say that, one of the things that I think this brings up for me is, jesters were at the end of the day performers, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
one of the things that I always found interesting to think about and read about is how our identities shift depending on the context we're in, right? Or not our identities, but the way we present ourselves shifts depending upon the contexts we're in.
Yeah.
And that's just true for everybody. It doesn't mean you're being inauthentic. It just means that you probably wouldn't speak to your boss the same way that you would speak to your best friend, right? And so this Fool does not feel, if you behave the same way, in every single situation and you don't make those sorts of adjustments, that to me is like a bit naive, right? It's a bit childlike to me.
Yeah.
Um, but 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 if you're somebody who understands the power of how you interact with people in different situations and how you can get what you need and navigate different situations, like that requires maturity. And that's
Mhm.
something that the school brings to mind, is having the maturity to know when it's time to perform and when it's time to like you said, he's cunning, right? Like he knows how to navigate different situations. So he does not feel like an immature fool to me. Um
No, he's either in his late 20s, early 30s, well, maybe mid 30s maybe. But back then in that time, lifespan was probably early 30s.
well, it depended on your class too. Yeah. Like the rich people, just like today, lived longer than, your typical peasant would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they didn't live to the ages that we live today for sure. But yeah, I do find this fool more interesting now. I do. So thank you for that, Benny.
I will say that I think where his power lies, I can't get the character name in my head, but he's the guy from Hunger Games that deals with secrets. The one with where all the winners have to compete with each other. The blonde. Um,
Is that the one that's played by
his power lies in secrets.
what
Remember,
is
he's the handsome one that like could swim for. He's like the swimmer of the one. He has a.
yeah.
I can't remember the character name. Uh, but I think that's this kind of what the kind of power that he has is that he is able to go and hear learn everybody's secrets, and that's why he can create such havoc and misery if you're not careful. I think when he pulled in a card, he really can help get deep down within if you're being very introspective and wanting to do, let's say, shadow work. This fool would be great for a shadow card to be pulled.
Yeah, I agree. I have an appreciation for this card now that I would say I did not have when we first started this
I
live.
love this
So
card.
I'm glad. Like again, I don't think he'll ever be my favorite fool, but I do think that there are layers to him that I did not fully appreciate. Yeah, I think I'm excited for next when we film next week, and then we'll post the video like following Tuesday because
Yeah,
I'm excited to look at some more of the majors.
I don't. So one of the things that we might have to go to StreamYard so that this doesn't happen again because I don't think this I don't want this to happen again where we have these kind of issues.
Yep.
And you already know how to do it, so I think it'd just be safer to do that. So
Yeah.
again, my apologies to everybody, but I will say overall, there are some cards in here that I absolutely love, and there's some cards that I don't like at all. Do you have a card that just out of nowhere that you really love?
I love the Hermit.
But you're a big hermit girl.
I am. I'm a big Hermit girl. I love the Hermit. And I also love, I mean, I love like, a four of wands moment or like a three of cups moment. I love those cards of like connection.
I will say that right now, of the cards that I've seen, the one that drew the most emotion out of me or excitement or whatever you want to call it is the four pentacles. Where
I haven't
it's
looked at it.
oh man, it is a powerful, but it has a
Okay.
very distinct meaning in my mind
Right.
for that
Okay.
one.
Well, I'm so excited to work through this. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah,
And I
it's
know
a lot
you
better than I thought.
Yeah, and, like, if any of you want to join in, like, please do. We would love for you to join in, share your thoughts, in comments. When we do the lives at the end of, like, each chunk, like, we'll do, like, a Q&A or,
Yes.
like, a space for everyone to share your interpretations of the cards if you decide to kind of do this along with us.
Yeah. Um, Man, I think this is going to be really exciting. What I'm really interested is to hear what everybody else has to say about their interpretations to see if it's similar to what we think, more like what you see or I see, or something completely different.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited about that too. And if you catch this on like the replay, like please comment below with your thoughts about the fool because I know I would love to go back and read those comments and just see
Yeah, me
what
too.
what
I
everybody
think that'd
thinks.
be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has been a
Well,
trip. a lot better than I thought it was gonna turn out with this particular deck.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. There's a lot here, even though there's not a lot in the cards. There is a lot to unpack in them, I think.
Okay, well, that's as much as I got for this particular
Yeah,
card.
I think. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, so we're gonna do the giveaway. I'm gonna be giving I said I. It's because I'm
That's okay.
talking. It's because I'm talking.
Sure.
We're gonna be giving somebody a deck. So first person to answer this question correct.
Specifically, we're going to be gifting you the Erenberg.
Yes. We first person to answer this question will get the deck. Then what you'll do is if you have Instagram, you will just message me your address and I'll get it out to you. Um, so with the Fool card, when particularly for me, what did the bell mean?
Ooh,
So
that's a
first
good
person
question.
to respond to what the bell meant for me will get the deck. And where it doesn't matter where you are in the world, I will get it shipped to you.
Benny's just the best. I
Except,
think that I think we have so one person in here. So and I is it's Alice maybe? Alice, Tara, or Lisa? What did the bell mean? And if for some reason we don't get uh the answer in here. Oh wait, people are answering on YouTube. Okay, hold on. Oh, there's 17 people watching. Okay, wow.
yeah,
Wow, okay. For some reason the chat was not syncing over on the other one. Let's see here. Um, okay, people are answering.
someone
We've
says,
got a few answers. Okay, we're gonna have to go back and look at some of these comments. The Fool, okay, his determination and see me. Lisa from Mythical Witchery put attention. Cat's intuition put look at me. Cozy Core Craft bringing attention. Benny, which one do you want to go with?
well, I think the closest one for me would be uh, Lexi, like being
Right.
alert, very, very much paying attention. Well, so let me tell you what it is. For me, the bell is really about listening to your inner voice more than anything else. So it's not his determination in see me.
So you want to give it to Lexi. So Lexi, if you just
Yeah,
want to,
I would say Lexi because it's about being very aware to what's coming up for you inside. Because you're gonna have to make a really, really big decision.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go back because I didn't realize that the comments weren't syncing. So, okay, Cozy Corecraft Tara said she totally gets that this is like classic fool attire, but she hates the court jester look. Ruby Retrograde Tarot and Tay said, I would agree that fool is giving quite the blank stare, borderline unsettling. Yeah.
Hmm.
Robin's Reflection said, oh man, not just a serial killer, but a child killer.
I read that earlier, and I'm like, wow, that's a real serious dislike.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm not alone in that though, because I was
I
like,
don't think you are.
is this because I watched too many murder documentaries? Is that what's happening? Is it starting to color like everything?
You know what
Um,
TV character, based on what she says this card would be? It would be Dexter.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes.
very innocent. You could be his friend, but at night he's killing somebody.
Yeah, totally. And then Lexi commented, she's ambivalent to this fool. He does seem determined, which she likes. And yeah, she said, he does have way more power than people give him credit for. Which I totally, totally agree. Um, yeah, he's an interesting fellow. But I will say, um, I will say that I do appreciate the fact that there is a depth to this fool, there's like a maturity to this fool that I don't feel like every fool has, even if that maturity involves like hunting his human prey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, did anybody else have any thoughts on the fool? I'm so sorry I missed your comments over here. Um, I can put it back on screen too. Here, let me grab them. Any other thoughts about this guy? Oh, wait, he's not centered. Let's see. Anything else? Any questions you guys have for us?
These are actually really good comments.
They are really good comments. I'm so sad I missed them in context as we were like filming.
Yeah.
We'll be better. It'll be great.
This is more me as having the issue with Riverside. So once we get to StreamYard, everything will fall into place much better.
Oh, Kristen just asked, why is Benny missing? Benny is having some technical issues with his webcam at the moment, and we couldn't quite figure out what was going on. So Benny is just today. Benny is imaging edge webcam. That's what
Yeah,
he is.
I think it's a better look, to be honest.
Disagree. I vehemently disagree. Totally disagree.
I will tell you, I'm super bummed. I'm gonna be. If when I was younger, this would have really, I probably would have cried. I would have been so upset. But I've gotten much better about letting life just be, not taking things so seriously. So I've still been able to have fun. My brain is still taking me to like, I can't believe this is happening, and then I interrupt it and I come back to the present moment. But I do know that this is just one of those things that happens, and I'll be fine. It's not like the end of the world, even though it feels like it sometimes.
Kristen just put shame. Orange doesn't suit you.
Kristen, orange was my favorite color for decades.
I mean, I'm my husband's favorite color is probably, well, he says it's green, but I actually think it's like orange. Mine is well, okay. Mine is green, but I just wear a lot of beige, as everybody who follows me knows. It's my
Oh,
thing.
I'm blue. Someone said, "What's your favorite color?" And I said, "It's orange," because I like looking at it. And
Yeah.
then they said, "But you wear a lot of blue." And I'm like, "What?" And she says, "Go to your closet and see what your clothes look like. What colors pop out more than any other?" And a lot of my clothes are blue, some shade of blue.
Lexi said she can see you pulling off leopard print. I agree with that. I
Leopard print.
wholeheartedly
Oh my
agree.
gosh. Oh no.
You know what I'm actually really, I realized I didn't comment on this earlier, but I feel like the shirt you're wearing today matches kind of what I'm wearing. Like we're both wearing like blues
Yeah,
with
mine
print.
is a more gray with a little bit of tint of blue with these pretty little flowers. Spring and summer's here, so you're gonna see a lot of floral shirts in my videos because I just love them. Love
I
them.
also like Benny was wearing like a killer, like was it pearls? Your
Pearl
necklace? Like
necklace. Yeah.
I love
A lot
it.
of pearl necklaces have come in the last 2, 3 years into men's attire.
Me
So I
too.
said,
I love it.
I want a pearl necklace. So I went and got one.
I love like a man who wears pearls. I know that I love it. I love that as like it's a whole vibe. So I was
Yeah,
so excited when I saw you wearing pearls because I was like, yes, Benny.
it is so interesting what is considered male or female.
Those sorts of, yeah, like I'll be honest with you. I actually don't tend to like most like women's perfumes. I tend to prefer men's colognes because I'm
Hmm.
like, why are we gendering scent? That feels weird to me.
Color, pink and blue was actually an advertisement strategy, I think in the 50s. But
Yeah,
it came from advertising on how to sell more toys to boys and girls.
Lexi. Better to clutch when you're offended about pearls.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I love it.
Love that, Lexi.
You know what?
Um,
I'm gonna do that one day just for fun, just to see
yeah.
what the reaction would be from everybody.
I'll be sure to say something really offensive to you, Benny, when you're wearing pearls. That way you have an excuse to collect
Oh,
them.
no. I actually have a couple more pearls on a list that I want to buy, but it's hard for me to want to buy anything online because what if it doesn't fit or it doesn't look right? And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't. And same thing with decks. It's like
Yeah.
if I see a deck that I like on Instagram, I have to go to YouTube and look at the cards to get a better idea of what they
Same.
are. I do the
Yeah,
same
same.
thing that way.
Do you have any like I mean, I know this is not on our list of things to talk about, but since we have people here, everybody who's here, are there any decks that are coming out or that have come out recently that you guys are like really excited about? Benny, what about
Oh,
you?
what? Oh my God, yes. There is a deck coming out. Now I have to turn my phone on. It is by this woman. Oh, and this deck was out forever. Now I got to find it real quick. Anybody responding on chat? It's
Let's
a
see.
major arcana deck only. And this artist,
The Sherwood Oracle.
the
That's by the
Sherwood.
creator of the Wildwood, right? Or the same artist. The B Tarot. Is that one? Yeah, I guess that one is like an upcoming release. I was like looking on Amazon at upcoming releases, and I think I saw the bee tarot on there. The dog tarot. I love the cat tarot. I think the dog tarot is going to be so cute.
I saw that one. That
Hi,
is
Tara. Yeah, I feel like Benny, you have to get the dog tarot.
no,
No. Oh, yeah, it's not your art style, is it?
no, it's just not my thing.
Okay. I actually gifted my cat tarot to my husband because he okay, so my husband loves like the cutest like animal decks you can possibly imagine. Rhythm and Soul Tarot. Oh, I don't know that one. Kristen has a deck wish list about 50 decks long. Maybe the Witch Sisters. Yeah, a lot of people really love that one.
Okay, I found the deck that I was looking for. It's just one of those names that I don't remember. It's a limited. This deck was going for crazy prices when it was out of print. It's Leonora Carrington's Major Arcana deck. It is stunning.
I want that. Is it coming? It's coming back.
Yes, that they did pre-orders. Mine's already on its way. I'm gonna do a walkthrough of it. I bought. Oh my God! I wish my camera was working. I ended up buying the book. It's a huge book that comes with it. It's an art book. Talks about her. Really goes in depth with the cards. The cards are much bigger, so you can see them. They're nicer. But I am just blown away with this artwork that she has. It's just absolutely stunning.
Okay, is it too
And
late for me to get it?
I don't think so. And I think I sent you a message on it.
You were talking about it, but I don't think there was a link to
Okay, it's
the
from
deck.
Folder Press.
Got it.
Let me find it. And if it's still selling, I'll post it on the link.
Oh, I think I found it. No, wait. No. Yes, found it.
Okay, I'm
I wish
thinking
it
it's
was a
still
full
selling.
deck. I do wish it was a full deck.
You know what? I've been doing made. I did a practice of Major Arcana only. Uh, a practice for a while just because I wanted to get to learn them a little better. And I'm starting to get comfortable just using the major arcana. Um,
Yeah. I think I just need to figure out how to use the like a majors only. I don't I mean, I suppose you could almost use it as like an oracle.
yes,
Um,
you can. Well, the thing is, what I'll do is I'll pull an oracle card, put it in the middle, and then I'll pull two majors, one on each side. Or I will pull a major in the middle and then put two oracles on the side.
yeah.
You could
Okay. Yeah,
also
that makes
you could
sense.
also even use the majors from one deck and then use the minors from another deck.
Another. Oh, that's an interesting idea too. I like that
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. Any other decks that people are excited about? I think I'm excited. Mine is like a Kickstarter. Mine is the I'm excited about the haptic tarot. It's the one you sent me, Benny, where you were like,
Yes,
"What
yes.
do you think of
That's from Nick.
that?" Mhm.
Nick is the guy that I ended up doing some mentorship with. He is so knowledgeable
Yeah.
of the tarot. He actually even gave me a wonderful spread called the Fool's Journey. And I'm going to do a video on that as well. But he's amazing. He's really amazing. Super smart. Love his Instagrams. His videos on his Instagrams are beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love his videos. His videos always they get me every time. I saw him when he posted like the initial teaser and I was like, "Well, I'm going to immediately back that." And then as more images started to come out, I was like, "Oh my god, I want it." So, I backed it. I actually have backed I've actually been pretty good about like not buying a ton of decks. But it's the Kickstarters lately that have been coming out because there are just some truly beautiful Kickstarters. And the Little Monsters and Efflorescent Tarot are coming back, which I'm super excited about.
Now, I did
Um,
find the Lorena Carrington website. It's still they're still selling it for $31.06.
yeah, I found it on the Folger Press website
So
too.
I just posted it on the chat.
Thank you.
But and then I have one deck on Kickstarter that's coming that I'm really excited about. I am the worst when it comes to names, so I got to go to my account and find it.
Kristen, you know what? I've been fortunate. Like I've backed quite a few Kickstarters and I've never run into issues, but I know that that's not true for everybody. So I can totally understand the
I've done
anxiety.
12. I've done 12 and I've gotten them all with no problems.
Yeah. And
Um,
I've done over the years, and it's not just tarot, but like other things over the years, I've done 31 and every single one of them
wow,
was fine.
31.
But that's over the course of like, I don't know, like 8 years
3 months.
for different things. Like
Uh,
board games for my husband, things like that that I think he would like. It's not all just tarot.
I ended up backing the Magical Creatures Tarot, which I'm really excited about.
I did too. I love the Northern Animal Tarot. It's like
Oh
one
my
of my
gosh.
like go-to cozy decks.
I backed up the I duck for Wonder Walking. I backed that one. The Solara Culto Melioria, the Lost Forest Tarot. So I've done several that I'm really
Yeah.
happy that I was able to do.
Yeah, yeah, and I also backed the Tamara Tarot, which is by the creator of the Habitat Trom Tarot.
Oh my God, I just am so upset that I didn't get that one. I'm so upset. I even was on her website when she had a few left and they were still there. And I hesitated. I waited a day and then it was gone.
Yeah, yeah. I managed to get it, like I just happened to check her website, like, the day she released them, and it was, like,
Yeah.
immediately bought. I hope she brings it back, though. I really do, because it is
I,
a
I
it is a
I
beautiful
did
deck.
ask her and she says she has no plans as of right now because she got other things that she's doing. So I want that the first one. I don't want this one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you could always, just hunt on eBay and, like, the Facebook pages and see if anybody ever
Yes, you
sells.
gave double the price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boo hoo, Benny.
Well, anyway, I think that's it for us today, unless anybody has any last questions for us.
Yeah. So not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, we will post our first recording on the uh the major arcana number 1 through 10.
Yeah. Yep. Next. So like a week and a few days.
Yeah.
Week and a couple days. Yep.
And
We'll do
hopefully I'll be on screen during the whole time.
we'll use StreamYard for that one. I can send you the link
We
for
will
StreamYard.
use StreamYard from now on out. I'll still use Riverside for me, for my other stuff because I'm used to it. But yeah, we'll definitely do StreamYard for this here on
Yeah.
out. I don't want to have this issue ever again.
Yeah. But thank you all for watching. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, hanging out with us. And Lexi, just email, or you can like DM your address to Benny through Instagram so he can send
Yes.
you that.
And if you have any issues, you can just email me at benny1969 at yahoo.com, BENNY 1969 at yahoo.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. And we will see you for our next video.
Yeah, and I lifted my hand as she was talking and I was waving by and realized
I'll
and see.
wait for both of us. There we go.
All right, y'all have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye.